Welcome to the ATX Pest Podcast, episode 16. Pest control, pest prevention, and pest solution. What is the difference? And that's what we're going to talk about today. It can be very confusing for folks when they're looking for a company. I don't know if too many people really pay attention to that so much, but I have been asked this question. And honestly, I think it's people in the industry, or in our industry, whether you're a technician or office staff or whatnot, salesperson. I think a lot of folks in this industry don't even know the difference, which is kind of funny. But I want to just kind of define the differences and similarities a little bit too, of course, because it's all really with all pest control companies, right? So pest control is obviously the most common. It's been used. That term's been used for 150 years or however many years it's been, 200 years maybe at this point. Exterminating is kind of the old way, so I guess I should throw exterminating in there, but most everybody knows what exterminator means. I think exterminating comes with a fear factor with that name, because we picture exterminate, you hear exterminator, like, oh no, they're fixing to kill some stuff, right? And they're going to spray some stuff, and it may not be all that safe. And I think exterminating is something that a lot of a term that we've gotten away from, and probably with good reason, just because of people perceive it in the wrong way. But if you ask me what I am, I'm an exterminator. That's how I feel about it. I'm a little bit more maybe old school than obviously some of the younger generation. Guys and gals that are in their 20s or 30s would probably not refer to themselves as an exterminator. Us 40, 50 plus year olds, we refer to ourselves as exterminators probably first. But pest control companies, we'll start there. If you can envision this, let's say you had outside your home, you had 100 spiders. And a company comes, they come on a quarterly or a bi-monthly or maybe even a monthly basis, and they go and spray, do their thing, do their treatment, right? Do your recurring service, maintenance service, and now you're left with, maybe out of the 100, you're left with about 15, 20 spiders left. That's pretty good control. You got control of the property. You're never going to eliminate everything. That's impossible. I guess elimination is another term that's used sometimes, getting a little bit more commonly used too. We can talk about that too, what that means. So that's control. You have a threshold, a level of activity, and you're trying to keep that under control so the populations don't grow and get out of hand and cause more invasions into the home, sightings, issues that it could present with a lot of spider activity. Also come with what comes with that. Well, spider webs come with that, right? Not cobwebs, spider webs. Cobwebs is dirt and dust inside your house. Those are old cobwebs. Those are old abandoned webs, okay? That's a podcast there. That's a difference between that. Most people in the industry, technicians, don't even know the difference. So anyways, that's control, okay? So what is prevention? Well, prevention is I have flies in my house. Well, why am I having flies in my house? Because I have my door open. I do have a screen door on, but I have a hole in my screen door. And the damn flies keep flying through that hole, and I got flies in my freaking house, right? So what do? Well, patch it. You patch the hole. Now you're doing something to prevent, okay? Or you're doing some type of, it can be chemical too. You're doing a chemical treatment, trying to prevent in a restaurant. If you got roaches or something, restaurants get roaches quite often through deliveries, employees bringing them in. I'm dealing with that with one of my customers now. Got rid of them. 6 months later, they got them again. Well, they got introduced again because this particular type of species of roach does not come from outside. They're hitchhikers, like bed bugs. If anyone's ever experienced that, they have to be brought into the home. There's not a lot you can do to prevent for stuff like that. Hotels have bed bug preventatives where you go into, I used to do it. You used to go into hotel rooms and you'd have a list and you go do their service that week. A lot of times they're bi-weekly, set up bi-weekly. You go in and say, all right, today I'm going to do rooms 21 through 30, right? Whatever. Maybe 10 at a time or 20 at a time. And you go in and spend a couple minutes in each one, real quick, minute or two in each one. And you go and spray down mattresses. You might open up and do crack and crevice and treat with approved products, of course, frames of the hotel bed frame, baseboards. That's a preventative. God forbid if someone brought in bed bugs and they got in contact in those areas, there's some residual left there that hopefully will kill them, right? So that's a preventive thing. It's not going to prevent them from bringing them in, but now we're trying to kill them. So you're trying to prevent a problem by using chemical means, okay? So it doesn't, they don't end up establishing and growing a population and infesting, right? So maybe with having exterior rodent bait stations, you have rodenticide bait, right? That's rat poison, right? We call it rodenticide bait. There again, it's the fear factor. Rat poison sounds really bad, right? So rodenticide bait. We refer to it as bait all the time. Lock secured stations. Probably seen them around people's homes. Maybe your own home. Maybe you have them around restaurants. Sealing up weep holes with breathable mesh. Sealing up homes anywhere. Vent covers, garage plates, things of that nature. Those are all, threshold of your doorway, weather stripping. Those are all means of we call exclusion and a sealing, but it's also more of a form of prevention. I'm trying to prevent activity from getting inside my home. Okay. And then solutions, I think a lot of companies will name them that way. Just to maybe, I think they do it because they want to sound different, which is cool. But from a marketing standpoint, probably not very smart. Pest control is by far the most Googled term there is, so that's why it's smart for companies to present them as themselves as a pest control company. Some companies just have services after their name, don't even say control or solutions or any of that. Services, defense, or whatever you want to call yourself. But pest control is typically the most common. A lot of these other ones, let's talk about elimination. I don't want to forget about that one because that one's important. Elimination is like you get German cockroaches inside your home. Okay. Well, you don't want a company controlling that. You need that eliminated. And we can't prevent that. There's no prevention for that. We can't prevent you going on a trip, staying in a hotel, and bringing them back from in your suitcases unknowingly, obviously, and now you've infested your home because you introduced them and it built up over time, and now you have a problem. Okay, that's how like bed bugs especially happen in German cockroaches. Okay, German cockroaches typically secondhand appliance. You got a used refrigerator from a garage sale to put in your garage. Well, now they're infested. It was infested with German roaches you didn't know. Or you got a microwave given to you by your wonderful mother-in-law, had roaches in it because she's got roaches. Well, guess what? Now you do too. Okay, your pest control company can't prevent that. So what do they have to do? We got to do a special treatment and try to rid you of that, eliminate that problem. Now it's about elimination, and that can happen. Okay, by some extensive treatments and protocols. We have to eliminate that activity. Okay, and then maybe a form of prevention that you can do is by visual inspection and getting it spot checked in the future. Okay, just to ensure that you're not seeing anything. Okay, maybe monitoring that with some glue traps, right? What we call glue boards. Those are glue board monitors. Those can be valuable. Okay, those are things that you can do yourself. Some glue boards. Glue boards will tell a story. If we have a customer complaining about I'm seeing a lot of bugs and they don't know what it is. Oftentimes, most of the time they don't. But we go to the house, everything's look clean. We're just not seeing them at that time, which is not uncommon. Well, we'll place some glue board monitors, set up a follow up in a week, go back or a few days, dependent on what we suspect and what might be going on, level of stress there with the customer, and we'll determine, what it might be through identification once we've actually physically trapped one. Okay, this all falls under something called IPM, integrated pest management, whether it's a mechanical, chemical means, or what have you, right? So there's a lot of different things. I won't go into that down that rabbit hole. We can have a podcast in the future. I should about IPM and what that all entails, because there's a lot of good information out there, and not something that's not utilized enough at most pest control companies. So because anytime it's not chemical, that's a good thing, right? Let's limit the amount of chemical usage. It's not that chemical 100% has its place and always will, but it can obviously be done very safely, and there's nothing to be scared about with that. Just be educated. Hopefully your company is good at educating you and setting your mind at ease. If not, get a different company because they suck. Okay. Period. They're maybe not educated themselves. So these are all, things to be aware of. I think I'm done talking now. I think this is a good bit of information. If anyone has any questions, like always, feel free to call me. 512-588-2998. I own a pest control company, evophone Pest Control. I'm glad to speak with you. Glad to help you out, whether that's just giving some free, friendly advice, or you want to contract us to go to your house and take a look. And we offer free comprehensive inspections, no matter what you have going on. Other than birds, we don't deal with birds, but if it's rodents, rats, mice, squirrels in the attic, mosquitoes, spiders, scorpions, ants, general pest control like that. We do all that. We seal up homes. We eradicate things. We do quite a bit. We're a full service pest control company. Termite work. So give me a call. We're very versed in it. It can help at the very least. If you're serious, happy to come to your home, take a look, give you a free inspection. If you're just looking for your DIYer, just looking for some free advice, please don't waste my time by sending us to the house, but at the same time, I'm very willing and happy to give you some free sound advice over the phone, via email, text, whatever you prefer. Happy to. Okay. So look up our company. You can do a contact form. You can email me through there, or give us a call. Y'all be good.